So we'll go inside the garden right now. I don't know if I'll cut this into a second video or not, but the entrance to the garden is looking cute. I have some volunteer, well, not volunteer, but daffodils coming up. Some daffodils that came up from last year that I got from Publix. So I don't know if those will bloom or not, but they're kind of all over. That and carrots and some gladiolus and some native cudweed. Lots of things just popping up. So yeah, that's what I do. I let them live, see what happens. Inside here, this is my makeshift gate. It's a table. And I keep the bunnies out of here because bunnies get into our yard. But yeah, whatever. My key lime tree is doing fabulous. It's getting buds on it already. All this new growth. This thing is huge. I just found a picture yesterday. I'm going to put it up. Okay, so you see this here. This key lime tree, and there's one back there. But like 4 years ago, this section, I'll show you what it looked like because it was completely different. And there's something about it that I like, the simplicity of, there being nothing there, but this is way more fun. Here's some of the ginger pots that I overwintered. So I'm going to plant these in a more, desirable spot or in a bigger grow bag. I think I might just do them in a big grow bag altogether. One of them has turmeric in it. So we'll see if that pops up. I've been cutting this back so it stops hanging over so far, but I might have to just cut that branch off. Everything is doing really good in the garden. This rosemary lives on. I have some garden huckleberries spread out throughout the garden as a trap crop, and then I get to keep the huckleberries for food. I'm letting the last of the daikon radish go to seed. Here's their seed, but I'm trying to let it dry so I can use it for next year. But yeah, that's what the seeds look like. You can actually eat the seed pods and they taste just like a radish. It's kind of cool. Not much else right there. I have a few pots here with some statice and some veggies in them. The statice is a wildflower. This one here has some alyssum and statice, and you see all that stuff. That's more that nematode thing that I sprinkled around. I have this is a very messy corner. I think I might have to get rid of this table. It's not doing well. Anyways, this is some thyme, lemon thyme, some regular thyme. I sprinkled some seeds in there, which now I forgot what they were. This alyssum looks pretty. But Nelly, stop it. Stop eating stuff. I have some Seminole pumpkins growing in the garden. Oh, I think that is one of those muskmelons. None of them came up, so I planted over them with Seminole pumpkins. So maybe it's a muskmelon. Oh no, you see this? You see this stupid worm eating my, I hate army worms, eating my sunflower. I have to spray BT again, but I wanted the nematodes to kind of get settled in. There was spider mites kind of all over my garden, and it was getting really aggravating. I have a lot of huckleberries to come harvest. And then, like I said, this serves as a trap crop. I have more Seminole pumpkin growing here, hopefully going up this trellis. This is my daughter's fall pumpkin that she planted, and it's got the way this looks, I don't think this is gonna make it. It's pretty yellow. This one's pretty yellow. We'll see. But it had a pumpkin on it, and it was getting so big, and then it got eaten by worms. So, but here is some of the food for those nematodes. Like if there's no spider mites in the area, it'll feed them. And this is, oh look, you can actually see them on this thing. That's pretty cool. See those little specks? Those are the nematodes. Sweet. So that means they're alive. I was worried because they're so small. I couldn't tell if they were living when I got them in the mail. But yeah, they're supposed to eat spider mites, so let's hope they do. There's another mullein, and this has marshmallow plants. So I'm growing the marshmallow for the root, but also for the flowers. So marshmallow, mullein, there's some chamomile, lots of alyssum. This is, what are you? Oh, I think this is a fleabane. That's random. But yeah, so that kind of is taken over right there. I'm focusing mainly on medicinal herbs this year and less food. I mean, I do have food, but there's been a lot of nematode damage happening in this part of my garden, so I'm trying to mitigate that, and while I do that, I can't really grow food here. It wouldn't be productive, so I'm going to do a lot of things in pots. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. But I have sunflowers and calendula growing in here. I just came in, planted zinnias, and I don't see any coming up. That was just a few days ago. I had a lot of marigolds go to seed, so I have lots of marigolds popping up, which I'm leaving because that is what helps deter the nematodes. I planted some peas, so some peas are coming up in here. There's some chamomile. This is the cleome, so these ones are doing really well, and I think are going to start flowering soon. Yeah, there's some arugula. There's some more marshmallow growing in this bed. Some elecampane, which is a native medicinal sunflower. It's also called horseheel. So trying that this year. In this bed, here's some more mullein. The mullein in this area, I'm probably going to use more of the leaves, but something's been eating the leaves. But that way, it doesn't matter what they kind of look like. I'll leave the other one out in the other part of by the porch to flower, so the plant kind of looks better, visually. Here's some more of that elecampane, or the horseheel. There's marigolds everywhere. This is white sage. Got white sage. Oh, another white sage. I use sage in the house. These are some volunteer cosmos that I saved the seeds to, and they are growing, so I'm excited about that. I have some more status, and this is another, this is white sage. That is prairie sage. I need to look up. No, this is white sage. That's prairie sage. And then I seeded zinnias in here. And, over here is a valerian plant. So this is the one that's doing the best. I do have some little babies in here. But this is my valerian, and the plant is a wildflower, basically, but it is medicinal. It has lots of different uses, but the root is said to help you sleep. So I thought that was pretty interesting. There's huge alyssum. I just redid that bed and cleaned out all of the volunteer greens in this bed. So there's some room left for additions. Here I have this nasturtium, and these 2 cucumbers are doing fabulous. I think I might, for one of the cucumbers, put a string from the top of this trellis down so it can go up the string and then over the trellis. We'll see. And then I planted some seeds along here of purple basil, I think. So this border is filling up really nicely with lots of cool things. I'm pretty excited about most of this stuff. So my spider mite issue, started in this corner, or else I noticed it in this corner. And if you notice, well, you can't really tell because it's wet, but there's like little light colored speckles. This is my anise hyssop or agastache plant, and I've been trying to grow this plant for 3 years, and I never successfully did it, but I seeded them in the winter. I have this area on, or the fall, I have this area on drip irrigation, and I kept it really moist. I think that was the thing that was going wrong for me. I wasn't keeping the soil wet enough, and it was trying to grow through like the summer, like spring, summer. But it finally worked, and I'm getting there, and I want it to spread and go to seed, and I didn't want to lose them to spider mites, so I got those beneficial insects to help. And then it's got wood sorrel all over the bottom here. There's yarrow popping up everywhere, more mullein, more horse-heel, coreopsis. I have some cosmos here. Of course, nutsedge, bane of my existence. Fudge. Hate that stuff. More horse-heel. I'm trying to see where it's growing the best. An okra plant. And then I have all this mullein, more agastache, more bachelor button. So this is going to have like pretty flowers pretty soon. I have dill all in here. I took out all of the greens that were here, and now it has room to breathe. There's a cucumber, a couple cucumbers. This is another huckleberry, but you see how this huckleberry is eaten up. It is because this is a trap crop, and things prefer, for some reason, eating this than they do the other things. So that's why I'm keeping it in my garden. These are the daikon radish. They're so big, but look. I don't know why I'm leaving it there. I guess to just decompose in the ground. But I have seeded basil all along here, and I didn't think I put anything on the trellis yet. I'm leaving that open. I might have put a couple things, but I have it in my notes if I did. This key lime tree is doing great. It's getting buds on it again early, and it actually still has some fruit on it. It actually has lots of buds on it. Wow. Like, look at this. This is going to be a phenomenal year if these all go to fruit. This will be its 3rd year fruiting. The first year we got like 2. Last year we got like a handful, and then now it looks like we're going to get a bunch. So that's exciting. And I grew this from seed. Like this tree and that tree over there, I grew from seed from a key lime tree. That is why it is covered in massive thorns. So that's the only downfall, is the thorns. So whenever I cut this back, ideally this should be in a more open spot, so I don't have to cut it back as much, but it is what it is. I wouldn't be able to harvest the fruit probably either if I didn't cut it back. It would be so unruly. But see, I still have a couple fruits left on here. There's a ripe one over there. This nasturtium, look at it. Whoa, I just fell. This nasturtium is huge. It's giant. I love it. And it does have flowers on it. They're just way down in there. But it's doing wonderful, so I'm leaving it. I'll just go ahead and pick this guy, put it in some water. Some basil, tomato plants, my little nursery for my roselle plants. So I'll, transplant those soon. And then more of the same stuff. I've got mullein, lots of dill, and cosmos. Like I said, cosmos, there's alyssum, there's status that came back, there's zinnias that are coming back in here. Look at all this. This is all the dead stuff from the greens and the daikon radish. lots of yarrow coming back. Yarrow is one of my favorite, though. This is the medicinal yarrow, and I do have, notice here, I'll just show you. So this is medicinal native yarrow, and this is the non-native yarrow, and you'll notice the difference. The leaves are darker, more wide than this one is. They both look ferny, but definitely, I don't know about the medicinal properties of this one. This is a yellow variety, but I can't speak to the medicinal part of it. But I do know that my native white yarrow is medicinal. So that's coming back, which is nice. And then I just have, you know, a menagerie of things. There's a bunch of arugula in here. This is a cucumber, some more wood sorrel, weeds, of course. Yeah, so dill. And then this is a winged bean. So this is a winged bean pod from last year that came off. And then I didn't get the roots of last year's winged bean, and I didn't know they were perennial. So that is really cool. So I'm leaving that and to see if I can get an earlier crop of winged beans. Winged beans are really good when they are picked young. When they're this size, they get, you know, stringy and like dense. But yeah, so pretty stoked about that. This native coral honeysuckle kind of covering the garden. Key lime tree. I'm just so excited. Oh, there's so much good things going on. I don't care about the mess on the ground. It is what it is. You know, nature covers up its own messes. So I'm trying to follow suit. I have some more tomatoes in here. I seeded something along the base of that, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, look at the bird. What are they doing? There's another one down in the garden bed. What is it doing? They're mockingbirds. Oh. But the birds are just coming alive, and it's just fun. I love spring. Got some herbs that I wintered over, some thyme here. Some more thyme. Got some more thyme. There's some... Oh, look. Oh, see, they're eating my huckleberries, I think. Are you eating my huckleberries? What are you doing? Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Look at it.